I want you to look at your kitchen cabinet right now. That bag of chips you bought last week, that jar of peanut butter, that box of cereal your kids eat every morning. Now think about what you paid for those things 2 years ago. The price probably looks about the same, maybe a few cents more. Nothing alarming. But here is what they are not telling you. The package is smaller, the jar is lighter, the box has less inside, and the price on the tag is exactly the same as before, sometimes higher. This is not an accident. This is a strategy. And it is happening right now across every major grocery store in this country. Walmart, Costco, your local supermarket, every single aisle. Today I am walking you through 11 grocery items that are getting smaller while the price stays the same or goes up. These are products you buy every single week, products you probably think you know inside and out. And I promise you, by the time we get to number 6, you are not going to believe what they did. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because this is the kind of thing we talk about on this channel. Real information, things that actually protect your money. Let us get into it. Now, before we start, I want you to understand what is actually happening here. Manufacturers are under real pressure. Ingredient costs are up, packaging costs are up, labor costs are up, transportation costs are up. So instead of raising the price on the tag, which you would notice immediately, they quietly put fewer ounces in the jar, fewer sheets on the roll, fewer pieces in the bag. A government accountability report published in 2025 confirmed this is a documented and growing pattern. The GAO called it product downsizing. Most of us just call it getting cheated. And here is the frustrating part. A lending tree analysis found that roughly 1/3 of common grocery products have already been downsized. 60% of household paper products, 44% of breakfast items, 38% of candy. 1/3 of your grocery cart is giving you less than it used to, at the same price. So let us name names, let us talk numbers, and let us figure out what you should do about it. Product number 1, laundry detergent. Let us start with something almost everyone in this country buys. Laundry detergent. This one is well documented, and honestly, it still shocks me every time I think about it. NPR tracked Tide liquid detergent at Walmart over several years and found something remarkable. Before the pandemic, that bottle held 100 ounces. By 2022, it was 92 ounces. By 2024, it was 84 ounces. And by December of last year, it dropped to 80 ounces. The label still promised 64 loads of laundry each time. The bottle just kept getting smaller to make that claim possible. Here is what that means in real numbers. You are buying 20% less detergent than you were a few years ago, for roughly the same price. In some cases, $1 more. A source I spoke to who works in the consumer packaged goods space put it plainly. When the formula changes to use more concentrated liquid per load, the bottle gets smaller. But the price stays the same or goes up, because the consumer never notices until it is too late. I picked up 2 of the larger format bottles at Costco last month. Total was around $38 for the 2. If I had waited and bought the current smaller bottles at the same per load math, I would have paid closer to $44 for the same number of washes. That is $6 saved just by buying before the next size reduction. Laundry detergent stores perfectly. Keep it in a cool, dry place and it lasts 2 years easily. The concentrated formats are even easier to store because they take up less space. If you have room, stock up now. You do laundry every week. You are going to buy this product no matter what. The only question is whether you buy it at the old effective price or the new one. Product number 2, breakfast cereal. This one hits a lot of families hard, because this is not a luxury item. This is breakfast. This is what kids eat before school. The lending tree analysis looked at 16 major breakfast cereal brands. 7 of them had already been downsized. That is nearly half. Family-size Frosted Flakes went from 24 ounces down to 21.7 ounces, a drop of nearly 10%. But the price per ounce went up 40%. Post downsized their Cocoa Pebbles family-size box from 20.5 ounces to 19.5 ounces. Quaker Life cereal dropped from 24.8 ounces to 22.3. And they even changed the name from giant size to family size so you would not notice the comparison. Retail analysts I follow have noted a specific packaging trick here. Kellogg's was specifically called out for selling the same price point in an even larger box. More air, less cereal, same tag. I went to Walmart 2 weeks ago and picked up 4 boxes of 2 different brands. Spent just under $20. When I went back and compared the unit price to what those same boxes were a year ago, I was paying 12% more per ounce without the price tag moving at all. Dry cereal stores well in airtight containers. A properly sealed bag inside the box will stay fresh for 6 to 12 months beyond the printed date in most cases. If you have young kids at home, buying a few extra boxes when the price looks stable is just smart planning, because the box will keep shrinking, and the price will not follow it down. Product number 3, toilet paper. Nobody wants to talk about this one, but it is one of the worst offenders in the entire grocery store. The Lending Tree report found that 60% of household paper products had reduced their sheet count. 60%. That is the highest shrinkflation rate of any category they tracked. Angel Soft Mega Rolls dropped from 429 sheets per roll all the way down to 320 sheets. That is a 25% reduction per roll. Charmin Ultra Strong went from 286 sheets to 242 sheets per roll, and then the price per 100 count went up 31% on top of that. Cottonelle Ultra Clean Care dropped from 340 sheets per roll to 312. That is an entire roll you are not getting, for the same price you always paid. A warehouse purchasing contact who manages paper product orders for a regional chain told me that sheet counts across most major brands have been recalibrated at least twice in the last 3 years. The physical roll size stays the same visually, so consumers never notice the change on the shelf. I bought a 48-roll case of a well-known brand at Costco about 3 months ago. Total was just under $30. A comparable package today with the reduced sheet count costs essentially the same. Except now I am getting fewer total sheets in that case. Paper products store forever. Literally. There is no expiration date on toilet paper. You can stack cases in a closet, a basement, a garage. Buy as much as your space allows. If there is one category in this entire video where stocking up is a no-brainer, this is it. Product number 4, potato chips and snacks. This one is almost insulting when you look at the actual numbers. Party-sized Cheetos dropped from 17.5 ounces to 15 ounces. The price per ounce went from 17 cents to 40 cents. That is a 135% increase in cost per ounce. Party-sized sour cream and onion lays also shrank. Wheat Thins family size shrank. Original party-sized Tostitos shrank. Doritos bags reportedly dropped by about 5 chips per bag across multiple size formats. The snack category as a whole saw about 27% of tracked products downsized in recent analysis periods. And these are items that people buy on autopilot, without ever looking at the ounce count on the back of the bag. A retail buyer I know who works with a major snack distributor explained it this way. When the commodity price for corn or potato starch goes up, the first adjustment is the bag weight, not the price. Because price increases trigger customer complaints. A smaller bag goes unnoticed at the checkout counter. I noticed this myself at a gas station of all places. Grabbed a bag of chips I buy regularly. Paid the same $3.49 I always pay. Got home and realized the bag felt lighter than usual. Checked the ounce count, down by almost an ounce from what I remembered. Same price. Less product. Chips obviously are not a long-term storage item, but if you buy them regularly for the family, buying a few extra bags when they are on sale while the count is still decent is worth doing. And switching to store brand alternatives is honestly worth serious consideration at this point. Store brands are typically the last category to downsize. Do not keep paying premium bag prices for air. Product number 5, ground coffee. I drink coffee every morning. I am guessing you do too. So this one is personal. Folgers reportedly dropped from 51 ounces per canister down to 43.5 ounces. That is a major reduction in one of the most purchased grocery items in America. And NPR's 2026 Walmart tracking found that Maxwell House ground Colombian coffee rose 46% in price in 2025 alone. K-cup prices for breakfast blends rose 34%. The reason is real. Climate change has disrupted coffee harvests across Central and South America. Erratic rainfall, floods, droughts. These events have tightened supply and driven commodity prices up significantly. That cost pressure is being passed to consumers two ways: higher prices on the tag and less product in the can. Someone close to the coffee distribution chain told me that wholesale coffee prices per pound hit levels in 2025 that most purchasing departments had never planned for. The only lever they could pull without losing retail placement was package size. I buy whole bean in a larger format whenever I can. Last time I stocked up, I grabbed 2 of the larger Costco canisters. Total around $45, compared to buying the smaller standard grocery cans month to month. I am saving approximately $8 to $10 over the same consumption period and getting better freshness because I am grinding fresh. Whole bean coffee stored in an airtight container in a cool, dark place holds quality for 6 months to a year. Vacuum-sealed options can last even longer. If coffee is a daily habit for your household, buying ahead while larger formats are still available makes real financial sense, because that canister is going to keep shrinking, even if the price does not move. Product number 6, ice cream. Okay, here it is. Number 6. I told you in the opening you would not believe this one, and I meant it. The standard ice cream container in America used to be a half-gallon, 16 fluid ounces. That was the baseline most people grew up with. Häagen-Dazs moved first. They dropped from 16 ounces to 14 ounces back in 2009. And instead of pushing back, other brands followed. But here's where it gets wild. That 14-ounce container is now the new normal. And some brands are already moving to 12 and 13-ounce formats, at the same price or higher. A pint that used to be a pint is now 14 ounces dressed up in the same packaging. The container is often designed with a dome top or thicker walls, so it looks the same size on the shelf, but it is holding significantly less product. A retail consultant who works with frozen food buyers told me the structural pressure on ice cream right now is intense. Dairy commodity costs are up. Cold chain logistics costs are up, and packaging innovation is now focused almost entirely on making smaller containers feel premium rather than making them larger. I picked up 4 containers of a name brand ice cream for a family gathering last month, paid just over $14. I compared the net weight to containers I had bought 18 months ago. I was getting 2 to 3 ounces less per container than before, for a family of 4 buying ice cream every couple of weeks. That adds up to losing the equivalent of a full extra container every month. Frozen items obviously store in the freezer, but here is the real advice for ice cream. If your store brand version has not downsized yet, switch now. Store brands in frozen desserts are often the last to reduce, and the per unit savings can be significant. Do not let nostalgia for a brand name cost you product volume you are quietly losing every single time. Product number 7, peanut butter. This is probably the most widely bought pantry staple in America, and it has one of the longest and most documented shrinkflation histories of any product on this list. During the 2008 financial crisis, Skippy shrank their jar from 18 ounces to 16.3 ounces, and to make the 2 sizes look identical on shelf, they added a glass dimple to the bottom of the jar, literally redesigned the container to hide the reduction. That was over 15 years ago. The pattern never stopped. A 16-ounce jar of Jif was tracked at a 41% price increase per unit between mid-2019 and recent years according to NPR data. The maker cited a 44% increase in shelled peanut prices. Retail contacts in the natural and specialty grocery space tell me that peanut butter commodity costs are still elevated, and the pressure to keep price points consumer-friendly is being managed through smaller jars and higher per-ounce costs. I made a deliberate decision to stock peanut butter about 8 months ago. I bought 6 of the larger 40-ounce jars at Costco when they were available in that size. Spent around $54 total. Today, that same format costs more per jar, and the unit count in some cases has shifted. I locked in a lower per-unit price on something I know I will use. Unopened commercial peanut butter has a shelf life of 1 to 2 years beyond the printed date when stored in a cool, dark place. Once opened, it stays good for 2 to 3 months at room temperature. This is one of the easiest pantry items to stock responsibly. Buy the bigger format. Buy ahead. And check the bottom of the jar for that little dimple. If it is there, you already know what happened. Product number 8. Paper towels. We talked about toilet paper. Paper towels are right there with it. Bounty triple rolls reduced their sheet count from 165 sheets down to 147. That is an 18-sheet reduction per roll. 6 double rolls of Sparkle Pick-a size shrank minimally in sheet count, but the price per 100 sheets jumped 23%. Scott Shop Towels, Brawny, Viva. These brands have all been documented in consumer watchdog tracking as having reduced counts, while prices either stayed flat or increased. A supply chain manager I know in the paper goods category told me that pulp costs, energy costs for the mills, and transportation have all gone up significantly since 2021. They said the easiest variable to manage without triggering a consumer price protest is the sheet count on each roll. I noticed this myself. I was going through paper towels faster than I used to. Same habits, same household, just running out sooner. Check the sheet count on the new package versus an old package I still had in the cabinet. Different, by almost an entire row of sheets per roll. I now buy a large case of a warehouse club brand whenever I see the count is still full. And I check the sheet count before I buy. Not the roll count. The sheet count. Paper towels store indefinitely. A few extra cases in the laundry room or basement cost you nothing except space. And space is a much cheaper problem to solve than a per-unit price increase you never saw coming. Check the sheets, not the rolls. That is the whole lesson here. Product number 9. Orange juice. This one catches people off guard because it looks so simple. It is just juice. In a carton. How complicated can it be? Tropicana redesigned their container and in doing so reduced the capacity from 52 ounces down to 46 ounces. The bottle was narrower, had a different cap, looked modern, but held significantly less juice. What happened next is notable. Consumer response was so strong that Tropicana's sales dropped 19.2% after the bottle change according to industry data, tracked by food industry analysts. 19%. On a category-leading product, because people actually noticed, but most brands are counting on you not noticing. And the trend towards smaller formats in refrigerated juice continues. A purchasing manager at a regional grocery chain told me that refrigerated juice is one of the most competitive categories in the store. Margins are tight, and package size has become one of the primary variables companies use to protect profitability without triggering shelf price wars. I switched to buying larger half-gallon or gallon formats from store brands about a year ago. I was paying about $4.20 for 52 ounces of a national brand. I now pay $3.60 for a 64-ounce store brand. More juice, less money. The math made it easy. Orange juice keeps in the refrigerator for 7 to 10 days after opening. You cannot stockpile it the way you can pantry items, but you can make a permanent habit change and buy larger formats. Or buy the frozen concentrate version, which stores in the freezer for up to a year and gives you significantly more value per ounce. Do not pay a premium for a brand name on a product that is quietly giving you less every time you reach for it. Product number 10. Candy and chocolate. I know this one might feel less essential than the others, but hear me out, because the numbers here are some of the most dramatic on this entire list. Party-size Reese's miniatures dropped from 40 ounces to 35.6 ounces, an 11% reduction per package, and then after the size dropped, the price went up too, from $8.98 to $13.24. That pushed the per-ounce cost from 22 cents to 37 cents, a 68% increase in what you are actually paying per ounce. Party size M&Ms went from 42 ounces to 38 ounces. Individual Reese's Peanut Butter Cup 2-packs dropped from 1.6 ounces to 1.5 ounces. Cadbury chocolate pieces reportedly had their edges rounded to reduce weight by nearly 10%. NPR's Walmart tracking found Hershey's chocolate prices jumping around 26% in 2025. The reason is real. West African cacao harvests have been devastated by climate events and disease in aging trees. Global cacao supply is genuinely tight. That cost pressure is going to continue. Chocolate and candy keep very well. A properly stored chocolate bar or sealed bag of candy will hold quality for a year to 18 months. Buying a few extra bags for birthdays, holidays, or just regular household use makes complete sense right now. And honestly, if the price is going up and the bag is getting smaller at the same time. This is not the moment to wait on buying what you know you will need. Stock up before the holiday season, because by the time Halloween and Christmas come around, both the price and the package size are going to be exactly where the manufacturers want them. Product number 11. Dishwasher pods and laundry capsules. Let us close with cleaning products, because this is where some of the most sneaky size manipulation has been happening. A consumer watchdog video that went widely viral in early 2025 documented Cascade dishwasher pods specifically. A value-sized tub that subscribers were getting through an auto-ship program was originally 62 pods for $22.68. The next shipment arrived with 57 pods at $26.12. After a discount applied, 5 fewer pods, $4.44 more. Before the discount, it was even worse. That is the kind of change that happens quietly, through a subscription update, without any notice. Tide laundry capsule counts have followed a similar trend as the liquid detergent format. Fewer count packages are appearing at similar price points to what larger counts used to cost. Consumer watchdog sites have documented this across Arm & Hammer, Persil, and several store brand options as well. A logistics contact who handles cleaning product distribution told me that the pod and capsule formats have become a priority shrinkflation category because the per unit count is harder to perceive than the fluid ounce measurement on a detergent bottle. You do not look at the number of pods with the same scrutiny as you look at the ounce count on a jug, and manufacturers know this. I now buy cleaning pods in the largest count format I can find at warehouse club prices, and I count the pods before I buy, not after. 2 purchases ago at Costco, I made sure I was getting the same pod count I had always gotten, and I stocked up at that count before any further reductions. Dishwasher pods and laundry capsules store indefinitely in a sealed container. They do not degrade. They do not expire in any meaningful way if kept dry and away from heat. If there is ever a time to stock up, this is it. Check the count, not just the price. These are the numbers the manufacturers hope you never look at. So let us step back for a second. 11 products, different categories, different brands, different manufacturing pressures, but the same pattern every single time. Ingredient costs go up. Raw materials get more expensive. Climate events disrupt supply chains. And instead of raising the price on the tag where you would notice it, they quietly put less product in the package. Change the bottle shape. Add a dimple to the bottom of the jar. Redesign the label with new branding. And hope you never compare the ounce count to what you used to get. This is not a conspiracy. This is economics. But it is economics that works against you if you are not paying attention. And here is what I want you to take away from everything we covered today. You are not powerless in this situation. In fact, you have more leverage than you think. Check the unit price on the shelf label. Not the package price, the price per ounce, per sheet, per pod, per count. That is the number that tells you the truth. Watch for odd package sizes. If something used to come in 16 ounces and now it is 15.4, you are looking at shrinkflation. The weird decimal numbers are the tell. Buy ahead on pantry staples you know you will use. Not to hoard, not to empty shelves, but to lock in today's unit price before tomorrow's reduction. And switch to store brands on any category where the major brand has already downsized. The store brands are almost always the last to reduce, and the quality gap on most of these products is much smaller than the price gap. 71% of Americans have already noticed at least one instance of shrinkflation in the past year, according to published survey data. Most of them did nothing about it. They just kept buying the same brand at the same price for less product. You now know better, and knowing better means you can shop better. If this video gave you something useful, something you are going to actually use the next time you are standing in a grocery aisle, please hit that like button right now It genuinely helps more people find this channel. And more people finding this channel means more people protecting their grocery budgets before the next round of quiet reductions shows up on shelves. Subscribe if you have not already, because we talk about this kind of thing here regularly. Supply chain shifts, price trends, products to stock up on, products to avoid, all of it. I appreciate you watching all the way through. That means a lot. And it tells me this kind of content is worth making. Stay aware out there. Check your unit prices. And I will see you in the next one.